Hey guys, and welcome back to another esports race. We're back once again. Well, for the second time, actually, we didn't get to continue with this league, but back with VFL F1 Esports League, and it's round 18. It's going to be the Japanese Grand Prix this afternoon here, and we're getting started with our short qualifying session. 18 minutes already counting down. I'm quite sure we'll be seeing some cars getting out on track pretty soon. 18 drivers in a session should be quite an interesting race. It was one heck of a race the last time we were with these guys, and that was when they were doing round 8. Was quite a while ago, as it does seem actually. So let's see, we got quite a few cars heading out on track right now. As we're gonna get a few stats up on screen. Let's leave that out for the moment, and let's see what's happening here. Alright, so it'll be at least just a few more minutes before we start to see some lap times being posted here. But yeah, should be quite an interesting race with this league. Let's see. Few names might be a little bit new to me, but I think most of the names here I do recognize from the last time we were with VFL. So let's get the session started and see what's happening. So Japan is the only time we actually race on a circuit that's actually shaped like a figure 8. So always one interesting fact that we do love about the circuit. It is a pretty high space. Most of the sectors, I would say sectors 2 and 3 mostly. Sectors 1 does have quite a few turns. You got to just be careful of chaining correctly. Not sure who's running in front. Let's actually get the full map up on screen. I love actually seeing where every car is. We still got quite a few drivers to get out on track as yet and give it a go, but we're gonna keep our eye on who we got for the moment here. So we got Johnny Stokes, it's gonna be Frank, we got Nice and Spicer, Vagilis, Huge Sam, Durson, we got Jord, we got Al Judifer, we got Envoy Extreme, Doiji, we got Wooly, we got James Owl, Patella, Crooksy, Rob, Dilligaff, Mass Baron, and Raceway. Oh, and Frank invalidates his just getting him back already. Didn't even give that a good try there. Keep an eye on Mass Baron. We're gonna keep an eye on him. No need to worry. Let's see what he's up to. I think he is currently out running. That was a bit of a weird view for a second. They look more of like an on-board view, which we're not really used to. Alright, so it should be pretty short. I think we're going to see some lap times starting to be posted here. Let's see who's going to be the first car out there to get a lap time in. It's already down to under 15 minutes. Just 18 minutes in the session, so it's really not a long time. We got a yellow flag somewhere on track here in sectors 1. I think because I think Jord is out of the session. I think he's out in maybe sector 3, or is it sector 2? I'm not really sure at the moment. But Jord is out. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to make a lap time in here, as we got Mass Baron going around in sector 2 right now. Ignore the purple sector. No one's checked the time yet, so I'm not even going to count it at the time. Let's see what sort of time he's about to bring in here and put on the board. Of course, everyone else is going to have to bring a time in as well. We got a 128.4 off of Mass Baron there. So currently the only and fastest time that we have. We're going to wait for someone else. Oh, and there we go. We got a Raceway with a 128.5, 110 slower. And we got Johnny Stokes coming around. He's in sector 3 here. I think he's about to get in sector 3 here now going. And he does a purple sector 2, now in sector 3. Let's see how he finishes, as we got Patella with a 144.1. Not a pretty good lap. He's going to have to try and improve that by at least 20 seconds. Alright, let's see where Johnny Stokes goes. As he goes provisional pole for now with a 128.3. Oh, and Vagilis does a 127.4. Almost a whole second faster than Johnny Stokes. So quite some interesting lap times right now. Algie Defer goes 128.6. Anyone else getting in there? Let's see. We got Nice and Spicer coming around. He's invalidated his lap. We got Huge Sam going at it. Let's see if he's on a fast lap here or not. Does seem to be that someone getting off track there. going to keep it on huge time for a second. Let's see how he does finish that lap or whatever time he's going to get. Alright, we got Frank on a very fast lap here right now. Let's follow him through and see what sort of time he's going to be bringing in. As we got Envoy Extreme did a 129.8. Not too bad. Bravo to 129.3. Of course, 127 is our fastest time so far. So we're going to keep an eye and see if anyone can top. Vatil is there with a 127.4. As we have Frank coming around now, he should be getting a pretty good time in here. Let's see if he makes a 128. Or maybe even better than that, getting to that 127. No, he's going 128.3. Not too bad of a time though. Does put him in P3 for the time. And that is Maz Baron out of the session there. I think he crashed it out just after, just at by the entrance of Sector 3 maybe. I'm not even sure where he is. Alright, let's switch it off. Let's see. Dilgaf is on outlap. Crooksy is on an outlap. We got James out running. Pink Mercedes. Let's see what he's going to be doing here. Alright, so he's still in Sector 2 going. I wonder if he's going to be able to make a purple Sector 3 or not. He's a pretty good driver from what I've seen from him in previous leagues. Oh, and does do a purple Sector 2, so he's on for a pretty good lap. Let's see if he can maintain that true Sector 3 though, and finish maybe way up there in the top 3 maybe. If he's lucky enough to get better than 128.4. And he does do P2 with a 128.026, so not bad at all. 3/10 better than Johnny Stokes' time, so Johnny Stokes already out of the pits and back at it again. Definitely going to try and improve that time. As we got Dilgaf, I think, on a lap right now. Oh, and he's invalidated that. He's going to have to try again with just under 10 minutes remaining. So that's going to be interesting to see where he's going to be going on the board. I know we kept calling his name a lot in the last stream we did. So hopefully a pretty competitive race with him in here as well. We got Darson, Sam, and Peter all out on outlaps here right now. See who else is running a hot lap at the moment. I think Dilligap just began. Oh no, sorry. He just invalidated the same lap he was on. Got these guys about to begin their hot lap pretty soon, so we're going to keep an eye and see what's going on with that. So I've been asking around a bit, guys. So we all know the PS5 is now out. So I know some of the guys have been running the game on the PS5. I'm not sure how well it compares to the PS4 or what issues we're actually facing right now between players getting between the PS4 and the PS5. How much of errors you get or whatever. If you do get any errors, I'm not sure how it is at the moment. Something to really consider though before actually transferring ourselves there, because I don't think we're getting a PS5 version for F1 2020. It's just gonna be until the F1 2021 games is about to come out. So a lot of things to think about in terms of actually getting to that. So we got Huge Sam, Darson, and Dilgaf probably on another lap there at the moment. And there we have Usam at a 126.5. Close to a second better, actually. Oh, and we got Darson goes for second now with a 127.2. So Usam holds P1 currently with a 126.5. The best time we've seen on the board so far. Actually, pretty interesting time. No one else is in a 126. And we just have about 7 minutes left to go. We got Wooly there, Crooksy and Dilligaf yet to make some times here. I was going to follow Crooksy right now. Let's see where he's going to be going on this board. So our worst time possibly we have right now is a 131.9. And someone just went up. That was fabulous. A 126.566. Just a few thousands better than Hugh Sam's time. So that's pretty interesting. Pretty close as expected with these guys. We got a purple sector 2 so far from Crooksy here as he goes around. We're going to see what Daily Gap and Willie Mammoth are going to bring in when they get out pretty shortly. And let's see how Crooksy finishes this lap. Goes P1 126.4. A whole 1/10 better than Vangelis' time. So that's going to be pretty competitive for a race start here. We still got 6 minutes remaining, so a lot more to happen in this short qualifying session. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out at the end. How close these top 5 are going to be at least here. Currently they're all in the 126 to 127s. The 128, not really a safe zone for a front row start. You can't just really get into 126 right now. And we got Dilgap getting on another out lap right now. Let's see what Frank is up to. Is he on a hot lap? Doesn't seem to be at the moment. So I'm going to switch it on out. We got Envoy on a hot lap right now. Oh, and he invalidates it. Just went a little bit too wide off of that corner there, I think. And let's get on to Dilgap's car as he's going wrong right now. Only guy I think that's about to begin a hot lap pretty soon, but he's still early in his warm-up lap here. He's just getting through sector 2 right now. Hopefully we do get to stream again with VFL F1 League next week. That is, however, provided my work schedule stays the same. It's kind of why we're actually streaming this today. We did have a bit of a change. I don't know how temporary, how permanent it's going to be as yet. I know it's a bit temporary, maybe for a few weeks, but I'm just waiting to see how that goes. So that's kind of what determines how really we do streams here and what time I actually usually do it. Just based on availability right now. So at the moment we're free for that. Oh, and we do get back to Global League Racing and All Stars Racing F1 League tomorrow. Both of them we're going to be doing a tier. I forgot which tier I did for GLR, but it's going to be for 8 p.m. for GLR and ASR at 9:15. So we do get back to them as well for the Saturday and Sunday. I'm not entirely sure what we're doing as yet. We usually do ISR and IFR. We might have to forego that because I think that's going to clash with the schedule, and we're going to have to maybe do PGL Sunday League for that. But either way, we're going to be doing something. Let's see what happens from Monday onwards. I'm not sure as yet. I'm just waiting for confirmation on what exactly I'm going to be doing on Monday here. I believe Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are going to be off days for streaming, so we'll have a look at that as it goes. I'm not sure as yet. We're just going to play it by ear for the moment. So let's see where Dilligaf goes. He's currently in Sector 3 going here now. Not sure how better of a time he's doing right now. Seems to be going pretty fast. I got to get back to some racing. I've been getting rusty on this. Just keep a lot to the inside and goes P5 there, Dilligaf for the 127.3. Not too bad of a time from him though. And we still got Wooly in the pits there. Not sure what he's up to. Maybe he's coming on the very last moment out, but he's gonna have to figure it out pretty soon if he wants to make actual lap time here. Now I'm not sure if there's a reason he's not getting out as yet, but we'll probably know more about that later on. Let's see who else is currently running. Ooh, Jennifer has invalidated his lap, so he's not going to be at time. There we got James Owl, who seems to be on a pretty fast lap at the moment. Let's gonna finish a lap with him and see where he goes. Still in sector, getting to sector 2 now, I think. Yes, he is, and we're gonna see how that plays off. So Crooksy just took away. I forgot that he took away the provisional pole, 126.4. That is down to P2, 126.5. Hugh Sam there, P3. Larson P4, Dilligat P5, Johnny Silk 6, James Dow 7, Frank in 8, Mass Baron currently in 9th, Raceway currently in 10th. So let's see what's going to change in midfield and what's going to change out front before the next minute and a half goes by. Because we do have quite a few cars out here trying to make a lap time right now. I think Huge Sam has invalidated that lap. So has Vagilis. So Crooksy currently holds provisional P1 and he might be able to get away with this if Vagilis and Huge Sam don't get to make another lap here and make an even faster time. But that's pretty competitive between, I gotta say, top 4 cars with the 126s there. So we're gonna expect a pretty interesting start to this race, and we're gonna have to just try our best with 18 cars on track. We're gonna try our best and keep our eye on most of the field as they go through the first few turns, just to catch any incidents that might potentially happen. Of course, there was a lot of close racing the last time, which we do expect to see again on this occasion here. So yeah, just look forward to that, and let's see how well it goes as we're coming right down to the end of qualifying here right now. And that was Crooksy beating his own time, now down to a 126.3, 2/10 better than Vagilis and Hugh Sam there. So just showing how fast he is. And we're going to see how well he does in the race here, because he's going to need a pretty good race start to get away from Vagilis and Huge Sam, since their times are so competitive, which means they do have just about the same straight line speed. So getting down to run into turn 1, which is not very long, is going to be quite interesting to see how that plays out for them, as we have just about 2.5 minutes left after the counter has finished counting down there now. So whoever is currently running a lap will get to finish. Whoever is not currently finished with a lap, well, that's it for them. That's it for qualifying. Short qualifying session, always get through it so quickly. So we're gonna see how well this goes for a start. This is gonna be quite interesting. Most drivers are gonna retire from this session. Alright guys, so that's our qualifying result. There is our grid for the race start. It's going to be Hugh Sam now takes away pole position with a 126.2. Crooksy goes P2, 126.3, and Vagilis P3 with a 126.5. We got James Al in 4th, Darson 5th, Dilly Gaff in 6th, Johnny Stokes 7th, Nice and Spicer in 8th, Frank in 9th, Mass Baron 10th, Al Judifer in 11th, Raceway 12. We got Rob in 13, Envoy Extreme in 14, we got Patel in 15, Jordan is 16, Dorji is 17. We got Wooly down there in 18. Didn't make a time in qualifying. And we're now going to get straight into our race session and clear race weather. It's always good to know what the weather is going to be like. Of course, Japan, you know, sometimes we do like to see a little bit of a rain here. You never know what can happen. But we're going to have a dry race here today. So I guess we look forward to some very fast laps. Should be pretty competitive. So we're going to see how that goes here now. Just waiting for everyone to get their race setups in terms of fuel and pit stop strategy and what's not, and then we should get going here. Okay, so there it is. Our drivers are off on the formation lap, and then we're gonna get started with the race. So it seems Haas is on the front row, both of them. I didn't even notice that. Husam and Crooksy there, both Haas P1, P2. So that's gonna be quite an interesting start for them. And Vagilis in the Alfa Romeo in P3. Predicted race strategy, quite interesting. Soft to hard, or soft medium, or soft medium soft, I guess it could be. But let's see what strategy these guys are going to be working with. We're going to just leave it as that for now. Alright guys, so let's just get set up. We should be coming to the end of the lap. Pretty sure we're already halfway through the lap, getting through sector 2. And yeah, we should get started with the race. So 18 drivers in. We're going to see how many drivers actually finish this session here and how many incidents we're going to have. Not sure if we're going to have any safety cars, VSCs or whatnot, or just maybe some wave yellows in a few sectors. We're going to see how well it goes though. That all depends on the race start here, which is bound to be quite an interesting one with that run down into turn 1. I'm quite sure some cars might be going a little bit wide. Some of these guys might try to cut on the inside of turn 1 and go through. And of course, the next few turns after that are a little bit hectic in terms if you do get off track and lose that rear end, you're definitely throwing your car into a barrier. And that's it for your race day. It'll be interesting to see if both Haas can make it onto the podium here today, since they're starting on P1, P2. Let's see if they can actually finish right there. Now we got the cars coming around the final turn there right now, getting back onto the pick straight into the grid, and everyone's going to be reforming back into their grid slots. And once the last car is in, we should be clear for our race start here. Should be an exciting 27 laps. Let's see, those horses are not going to be the ones be sitting very long on that grid, as we have the last cars coming around right now. Just about to get started here. Remember guys, the leaderboards does sometimes get a little bit mixed up. This seems like the sun just came out a little bit brighter there for some reason. Alright, I think we're good to go. There we go, lights are about to go off. Please don't tell me we're having a glitch. There we go, better look. Alright guys, they're off. Let's see how turn 1 is about to go here. Got both Haas getting away pretty well. Alfa Romeo Evangelist falling back just a little bit. Lost one position that start there. James Al getting up into P3. I haven't noticed any incidents down the front as yet. Maybe some down at the back. We did have a bit of yellow flag. There is Jennifer's car. Racing Point is stuck down at the back there. He did have a spin somehow. And let's just go down the order just a bit to see what's happening here, what we've missed, and what let's see if anyone's gained or lost position. I didn't put a position change on. We're just gonna have a look at that. Ferrari trying to get out and maybe gain a position there. Got Envoy Extreme trying to get past Raceway down at the back here, getting pretty close. Let's see how close he's gonna get as they do continue racing on. I think he was the Ferrari trying to come out the side to maybe get a gap to go on. Oh, and we got Envoy Extreme getting into the barrier. That car is definitely out of the race there. That might be a VSC. I'm not sure if it was just going to be wave yellows. Oh, and it's a full-on safety car for that incident. So before the end of lap 1, we already have our first safety car. Heat Sam Cruisy getting past the pits. They're definitely going to be taking a pit stop. Let's see if any cars are going to decide to do an emergency pit stop here. Maybe who has damage definitely will pit. I'm not sure what drivers who don't have the damage, if they're going to choose not to pit here or not. We're going to see how well that goes, as we're going to be under the safety car for at least another 2.5 to 3 laps here before we do get back racing. That is Envoy Extreme out of this session. So 17 drivers now remain. With 27 laps, I think, yeah, definitely some of these guys might think about throwing on the hard and just pushing it down all the way to the end of the race. You're just going to be doing about 20, let's call it 24 laps of racing on those tires, because you're following the safety car. Just most likely you're going to just keep the fuel on lean and just try to keep the tires warm and not waste them, or just, you know, use the grip ups too much as you normally would when racing. So about 23-24 laps of racing on the tires. I think definitely the Hearts can pull that off. Of course, it does depend on where you are on track right now, if you're able to take that pit stop or not. I know definitely a few cars would pit. I think our leaderboard is a bit mixed up right now. As leader of the race currently is Hugh Sam. He's P1, Crooksy is P2, James Al is P3 right now. As you can see, they're following the safety car here. And there we go. It's back fixed again because we're on lap 2, not lap 3 going. I hate that this still happens. It's been months, Codemasters. Can they actually fix this crap as yet? It's still annoying, honestly. Alright, so let's see. We're going to put that. Let's see position change. Who lost positions here? So James Allen and Evangelist, they were actually the ones that switched positions on the race start. Getting into turn 1, James Allen got past Evangelist there. And then way down in 9th is where we had most of the issues going down for there. We had Raceway getting up 3 positions. We got Doji now up 8. Maz Brown lost 1 position only. And yes, John, we do have the new addition to the leaderboard that does show the penalties from drivers. When they do get a penalty, we actually see that very little symbol alongside their name on the leaderboard. So we do see what penalties have been handed out in the race. So let's see who took a pit stop here. We got Frank took 1, Wooly took 1, Al-Judifer took 1. I know Al-Judifer had some issues down at the start of the race. Might have been with Wooly or Frank, I'm not sure as yet. but a few of them did decide to take a pit stop on that safety car. No one else has taken a pit stop as yet. Surprisingly, I would expect maybe a few more cars would decide to opt for a pit stop here. We should be getting to the end of the safety car. I guess by the end of lap 4, I would assume getting straight into lap 5, we should be getting back to racing. So we're going to have to be under this situation for just a little while more. As for tires now, let's see. So Wooly and Aljitfo went on to the hards. Of course, Frank went on to mediums. And I guess he's deciding to try and push those to the end. I guess he can probably manage them, or if he does, if he has to push you hard, he's going to have to definitely make another stop and maybe go into the next set of soft to go down to the end of the race. But we'll see how that works out for him. And let's see, we got Raceway there. He's on the hards right now. He started on those tires actually. So he's going to be pushing through the race and maybe taking a very late pit stop here. Daily gap on mediums at the moment. Most of our guys are running on the softs. So that's going to be something interesting to keep an eye on. Let's get most of that off screen right now. We're just trying to keep the clutter off the screen so we can just focus on what's happening with the racing. Of course, when we do get back racing here. Alright, hopefully we don't have any incidents under the safety car right now, as I think we're about to get back racing here, because the safety car is back out to the distance there, so definitely we're about to get back racing. Getting into lap 4, we're going to get back racing. Let's see how our restart goes on this occasion here, as Huge Sam and Crooksy are going to try and take lead out front. And let's see what's going to happen going down into turn 1 on this occasion. Everything seems to be running smoothly so far. No incidents, no car too close together. We do have a few cars close together, but we're not having any incidents happening at the moment, as we got Jordan very close to Rob down at the back there. And Frank very close to Patilla as well. Well, Judith very close to Wooly there too. So quite a few close gaps down at the back of the field. Of course, no incidents as yet. We're all the way down at the back of the pack right now, following us, see if Wooly is trying to get away right now from Judith's car there, which I think he is. Down at the front we got Haas teammates chasing down each other. 1 second between, less than 1 second between them, as James Owl is just out of the 1 second range down at the back, as we will have DRS enabled back pretty soon here. And we got Vagilis there in 4th. He's chasing down James Owl right now. Let's see if he's able to catch up. Doing a pretty good job so far on keeping Darson behind him in 5th, over a second behind. So when DRS does come on, he's not going to have that advantage if he can keep that gap going, as he's trying to keep his gap under a half a second at least. Huge Sam with the fastest lap so far. 130.2, not too bad. Oh, we got Jord and Frank switching positions probably at the back there. Definitely some movement going on down in the back of the field. Positions mostly staying same as they are at the moment, except for down at the back. We do have some action happening there. I'm not sure what's happening at the moment between Rob and Al-Judifa down at the back. Let's have a look here right now. Wooly is involved in this as well, between 14, 15 and 16 here. Al-Judifa is trying to catch up as much as he can there right now. That gap is getting way too close between teammates out front, between Husam and Crooksy there. Try and keep an eye on that to see what's happening. Hopefully they don't get into a tangle with each other here, because if they are racing each other too much, this could result in the entire team having absolutely no points here. Of course, it would be a fun battle for us to watch on this end. Having two Haas drivers fight it out for the race win. That gap is getting dangerously close, so let's keep an eye on these guys and see how this is going to play out for them. Not sure if Crooksy is going to be faster than Hugh Sam here, if they're going to be switching positions, I'm not sure. DRS is now enabled, so Crooksy is going to get that advantage, especially going through the DRS zone. So let's see if he's going to be using it to try and get past his teammate, get up into P1 and get to the lead of the race to himself here and try to get pole position win. I'm not sure yet, we're going to see how well that goes for him. I think that's the closest possible gap we have. Well, we do have Mass Baron there getting very close to Jord as well. And let's have a look down at that as we'll keep following with Hugh Sam and Crooksy out in front to see what they're up to here. Oh, and we have Doiji has spun around. I don't think he took any damage on that car there. As he's losing positions now, the Wooly does get up into 13 because of this now. Oh, and we got Rob getting very close to Dodge. You know, he was trying to get past as well, but Dodge is back up to speed. So he's going to have to work a little bit at it to get past. We do have quite a battle happening out front with cars getting very close together. Under a half a second for most of these drivers. Under a second, we will say, between our top 4 cars. As James is now getting very close to Crooksy's car. Let's see if he's going to be able to go for a gap here. So Crooksy under a lot of pressure right now. He's trying to keep up with his teammate, also trying to keep James way behind. And we're on lap 7 right now, so we've got about 20 laps more of racing left. We got Johnny Stokes now into the pits, so a few drivers are going to be moving up the grid. So excellent driving though, got to say, from these guys out front here so far for keeping the gap between the cars so constant, going for quite a few laps now. Everyone working pretty hard to break the gap down, but it's not as easy as it would be with everyone so close together in terms of their lap times during qualifying. It just shows the level at which these guys are, so definitely going to be pretty hard for them to make an overtake on each other. I guess they're just going to have to chase each other until someone makes a mistake, or maybe just try to get each other on the pit stops. Oh, James did go just a little bit wide there. Gonna want to avoid going too wide because that could end up resulting in a penalty, which definitely doesn't want to have happen here. And he's getting very close though to Crooksy's car, so we're gonna keep an eye. See how close he's gonna get. Crooksy right now cannot make a mistake, and definitely can afford to make one, as we got James getting DRS and using overtake on him. Of course, Crooksy getting advantage of getting some DRS off of his teammate out in front, who's leading the race right now. We got Knights and Spicer now in the pits there as well. He's gonna be changing tires, so we're gonna have to keep an eye out front to see when these guys do decide to change their tires, as James is looking for a gap to go on here right now. He is in striking range of Crooksy's car, so definitely gonna want to be careful there on Crooksy's end. He's gonna have to just watch his car placement around every corner. Oh, and Rob gets a penalty. So Rob there now with a 3-second penalty, I think, for corner cutting. I think this battle is going to be on out front with these guys all through the race, and it might take a break during the pit stops, as we're going to have to watch what happens during that point. We're going to get to that point pretty soon as well, because they're all running on softs, which means they're going to have to pit before the halfway point in the race at least. Of course, they're going to just keep an eye on each other, as we think we have Crooksy and James going side by side. And we got James coming out. They have some minor contact between the two, and Crooksy takes it back into P2, going down the pit straight. And we got Vagelis coming in as that as well, as Hugh Sam goes into the pits. Vagelis takes over the lead of the race now, and James now in second. Crooksy loses out. Now he's down into third. He was still supposed to be in second lead, continuing with the race. He was supposed to be the one taking over the lead here, but unfortunately fighting it out with James, loses that position, and Vangelis takes advantage of the two of them battling, goes all the way out ahead, and now leaves the race. Oh, Crooksy getting a little bit wide there. Now Dilligaf is getting in on this battle as well. We got Darson behind about 3.4 seconds. He has to catch up. We got, let's see where Hugh Sam is coming out. He is out in 9th place right now after his pit stop, and I don't think he's taking another pit stop here. That's definitely going to be it for him, and he's going to try to fight his way back out front now, as the cars in front of him will have to pit. Every car in front of him, I think, does have to take a pit stop right now. So we're going to have to just keep an eye on that. When these guys out front between Vangelis, James, Crooksy, and Dilgap do decide to take a pit stop, we're going to see how much that actually puts Hugh Sam up ahead, as he's still working to get past Frank there right now. So excellent stuff from these guys so far. Oh, and we got James into the pits right now as Vangelis continues to lead the race. So quite a few drivers are into the pits. We got Darson into the pits as well. Let's see how they come out. So Hugh Sam is in front of them now in terms of that pit stop. There, so he might be coming back out to lead the race when Frank, George, and Raceway and Dilligaf don't decide to pit here. We got Vangelis still has to pit here as yet too, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on him as we got Dilligaf chasing him down for the lead of the race here now. Got Johnny Stokes getting very close to, I think, Wooly there as they just switch positions. Wooly now trying to get him back. So having a look at what's happening here. We got Johnny Stokes trying to get a move done on Darson's car. He's keeping very close behind right now. Hopefully no major incident. As our battle on track has moved way a little bit further down the field now. I think we're getting back out front pretty soon though, as Hugh Sam now has James behind him and Mass Baron down in 8th. Crooksy is in 9th now between Mass Baron and Darson there. So Mass Baron getting in between them. I don't think he's pitted as yet. We'll have a look at that in just a second as Vangelis is now in the pit. Dilligaf moves up into P1 leading the race. He is yet to pit as well. Of course, so is Raceway, George, and Frank, which when they do pit should be able to put Hugh Sam back into the lead of the race as he's getting very close. So he's gotten past George. Now George is now into the pits. We got Hugh Sam now up into P4 and he's working his way back up the field at the moment. We got Darson getting very close, trying to go side by side with Miles Bauer in here right now, going down into turn 1. Let's see who's coming out of this one in front as Miles Bauer moves up into P8 behind Crooksy. Now Darson down to P9. Johnny Stokes running 10th at the moment. Following on board with Johnny Stokes, and let's see how close he's going to get to Darson's car here. He has a bit of a gap behind him with Nice and Spicer, his teammate I think coming down at the back there. He's trying to get as close as he can. Of course, this portion of the track is quite difficult to overtake in, especially without getting a penalty. So I want to save it for getting onto the straight just after this turn coming up. So let's see if he's going to be able to get a position done. Locks up just a little bit. Tries to take the inside and get a better exit. Doesn't seem to get it out faster though. So Darson chasing down Mass Baron right now, running in 8th. Crooksy up there in 7th. He's still trying to get closer to James with... oh, Darson gets a 3-second penalty there now. And we got Hugh Sam now just under half a second behind Frank. He is gaining time right now and trying to get past these guys. Let's see what's happening up front. He is about to go past them as he goes past on the pit straight. Quite easily done. Frank is not racing him, so no point trying to hold him back either way and ruin his race. So Hugh Sam now up into P3 in this race, trying to head back out, trying to... Oh, and that's a 5-second penalty for Mass Baron for speeding in the pit lane. He's now heading out to try and catch Raceway, who is about 2.7 seconds ahead of him. We got Johnny Stokes getting very close to Darson's car here. Of course, Darson with that penalty now does show that he is under a lot of pressure from the Renault driver here. He's definitely going to want to be careful about those penalties. He now has to build a gap. Oh, and someone else just got a penalty there as well. I think Rob just got another penalty. So he's going to want to be careful about the penalty, because if he doesn't gain a gap of about 3 more seconds between himself and Johnny Stokes, that penalty is going to make him lose a position or maybe 2 when we do finish the race here. So he's going to have to be just so careful about that, as we got George getting very close to Wooly there right now as well. Let's have a look at what's happening down in the back. And he's trying to go side by side with Wooly, and just trying to get as much of a careful gap as he can. Wooly seems to be giving him a little bit of room to go. I don't think he's trying to take the chance, so he's going to be as careful as he can to just get through this portion until we get through to Sector 3. And he's going to have a go at him now. And that puts George up into P12, Wooly down into P13 now. Let's see if Wooly's going to get a move done back on the pit straight, as he has a lot of ERS to use. And yes, definitely he's getting DRS now, so let's see what that puts him. Both in the moving up position, because someone just went into the pits. I think that was Rob just went into the pits there. Losing a bit of time from Jordan right now, but he's going to have to try and gain that back, as we're following with Johnny Stokes and Nice and Spicer right now, teammates of Renault. And let's see what's happening with them. Johnny Stokes still trying to chase down Darson's car right now, as he is under trying to get under half a second, hopefully to get a gap to go on here. Not as easy as it looks, as Darson getting into the dirt just a little bit there, just trying to keep ahead. As we follow on board right now with Johnny Stokes, as he gets much closer now, tries to get a better exit. I think they got just about the same, as he's using all of the overtake he has, trying to catch up. And let's see if he can actually get this done. We got Dilligap getting very close to James's car. They're right now up in P4 and 5 there. Let's go have a look at them in just a second, as we're following to see if Johnny Stokes can get past Darson's car. I think he might be able to go side by side. Nope, he's not close enough. Definitely not going to be able to get that done. So that battle is going to have to take a break for the moment. We got a huge Sam back out in front, leading this race with Raceway down in P2 right now. I think he's yet to pit as well, but he is running on hards there, so I think he's the one who started the race on hards. I'm not sure. We'll have a look at that in just a second. As James is now up in P3, Dilligaf in P4, Frank running P5, Vagilis in 6, Crooksy in 7, Darson there running 8, chased by Johnny Stokes, who's still trying to get past him. Going back to that battle is still happening right now. Darson under a lot of pressure here right now, but still driving excellently well, I would say, having Johnny chasing him down. Johnny's just looking for a gap to go on at the moment here, as he's getting very, very close. His teammate is trying to keep up with him down behind. That's Nice and Spicer in 10th. I guess they're trying to keep both cars in the points right now, as we got Raceway getting under a second behind Hussam out front. And I do have Vagilis chasing down Frank right now. Oh, we got James and Dilgap switching positions going through turn 1. Let's see if James can get back that position from him. Coming into one of the most difficult sections of the track to actually get an overtake down on, unless your opponent goes off track here. Oh, and Dilligap has a minor bit of error on the rear of the car there. So might have lost a few tenths there. Let's see how does that work for him. We got Vaj's getting very close to Frank's car right now. He's trying to get in on the battle there. Not a lot of overtake for James to use, but he is trying to keep up with Dilgaf as much as he can. As Hugh Sam continues to lead this race with Raceway there in second. Johnny Sos gets a 3-second penalty, so a lot of penalties giving out here right now. Nice and Spicer with a penalty there as well. So is Patella. Let's have a look at pit stops here right now. So pit stops, Raceway is the only car who hasn't pitted yet in the race, and I think he was the one that started on the hards. So let's see how that works for him. He's going to have to take a pit stop at some point in the race here. Got Nice and Spicer getting past his teammate down into turn 1 here now. They are going side by side. Let's see how they do finish here. Johnny Stokes lets them go by apparently here. They might actually, no, he's trying to get back his position here. They're still going side by side. I don't know how safe this is for Renault. They're up into the points. They might lose this if one of the cars are taken out by their own teammate here. So Nice and Spicer gets up into back to P7 there. Johnny Stokes down to P8. Let's see if they're going to continue to race each other. Not sure what team orders are in this occasion here. For the time, we're going to switch over to James, who's chasing down Dilligaf still here. Trying to get the final podium position if he can. Of course, I think he should be able to get it when Raceway does pit, because they are about pretty close together here. Of course, with the gaps this close. Oh, and Crooksy gets a penalty now. His teammate Husam running and leading the race to P1. He's still running down in 6th, so not having a good race on his end. So James still would have a second between himself and Dilligaf. Let's see how well this is going to work for him. So Raceway did his pit stop. He's now out back in the race. No, actually he didn't do pit stop as yet. Sorry, my bad. He just fell down the order there. Now into P4. Those tires are starting to go on here apparently. Actually, you can see the lines on the tires, so they are starting to go a little bit there. As we're following back now with James chasing down Dilligaf for P2. Let's see how well that battle is going for them. So this should put Valdez up into P4. And Crooksy up another position there as well when Raceway does pit. And he is into the pits right now. I think he's going to be going on to soft. Let's have a look at what he's doing right now. Oh, and we got James and Dilligaf going at it into turn 1. James getting past Dilligaf here. Up into P2 now. Dilgaf down into P3. And he's going to continue chasing James. Let's see if he can get the position back here now. Dilgaf is trying to get a better exit off of these turns. Got George getting very close to Rob all the way down at the back in 15th. Let's see if he's going to be able to get up a position there as well. Get Frank another quarter of a second behind Raceway. He's losing some time and gaining some time at the same time there. And Miles Brown getting a 5-second penalty. We're on lap 18 right now. Coming down to the end of this session of this race. We're not too many laps more to go. About at least maybe 9 laps of racing left here. and quite a few penalties being given out, so we're going to see how that affects race position when you get down to the end of the race. We still got Dilly Gap just under a second. Oh, that time is about to go over a second now as he's still oh, we got a safety car. Something has happened. Patilla's out of this race. Not sure if that's what's caused the safety car here or not. Not sure how many drivers are going to be happy about the safety car. I think a few drivers might be a little bit happy about it. Some of these guys will have to serve their 5-second penalties in the pit stop, as we have Huge Sam in the pits here as well. So he is taking a second pit stop, and let's see, went on to a set of softs. Getting back out of the pits right now, Vangelis takes over the lead of the race, so this is going to be quite interesting. Of course, they're all going to be starting back onto the safety car just behind each other. So Huge Sam is going to be on the faster tire, and definitely going to have more of an advantage to get back his race lead. And he's definitely going to have enough laps to get this done. So Vangelis is going to be under a lot of pressure out in front there in P1 to keep the lead of the race. Of course, if he can actually keep the lead all the way down to lap 27, this is going to be quite interesting. So we're going to be on the safety car for at least 2 to 2.5 laps here until they get all of that debris cleared off track. We got 16 drivers left to finish this session, which is going to be quite interesting to see because I really want to see if this is able to hold off a lead of the race. He's running on mediums, I think. Let's have a look at what he's doing. Or if he's on the oh no, he's on hard. 7 laps old tires. Definitely see why he didn't pit there. But his tires were not that old either, but he did choose to take a pit stop. Daily Gap did take one as well, so he's now on fresh softs as well. James there on fresh mediums now. Probably didn't have a new fresh set of fresh softs to go on. So a lot of drivers did take a gamble with a pit stop here. Did take a pit stop on this occasion. Whoever just took one of the last few laps are not going to be taking one. Now, of course, it doesn't make any sense for them to do so on loose positions. Of course, Huge Sam taking a gamble though, because if Vangelis is fast enough and able to hold him off for at least a few laps to get to lap 27, he can take the win for the Japanese Grand Prix here today. But it's going to be quite a feat for him to accomplish. Let's see if he's going to be able to do it. And we got Dilly Gap on and Huge Sam's tail down behind. He has he's going to have fresh tires as well to chase him down. And then we got James in P4. He's on mediums and a pretty fast guy, so he's going to be getting in on that battle as well. Raceway now only down to 5th, and every driver behind him having a penalty. Well, quite a few drivers behind him do have penalties, so that penalty that he has might actually be able to keep him in 5th if he's able to keep close enough to James here and just try to build some sort of gap off of the cars behind him. But we're going to have a look at that as we do get back to the restart here pretty soon, hopefully. So let's get this off now. We don't think we need that anymore. Oh, we got Jordan now going into the pits. Yeah, so we have the safety car getting back in on this lap, and we should be getting back to racing. That's going to be going on lap 21. So we got at least about 6 laps more of racing to go here, so that's going to be more than enough time for Hussam to try and get past and get back the lead of the race, and not a lot of time in terms of, I think it's going to seem probably like eternity for Vangelis there to try and keep the lead of the race. Alright, and here we go. Let's see how our restart goes as we got Hussam chasing down Vangelis for P1 right now. 1.1 second. He's already trying to get a gap off of him as we got a lap car in the midst of it as well there. Ooh, and we got Darson trying to get down with the Nice and Spicer there, and Johnny Stokes getting up to him down behind there as well. Everyone keeping very close. No incidents on this restart so far. So let's keep an eye and see how things run. And we got Hussam getting under a second now behind Vangelis. He's trying to catch up on the faster tires. Definitely going to be able to do it. He is gaining on every few seconds here right now by at least 1/10. So definitely getting up there to getting back to the lead of the race. Let's see if Vangelis is going to be able to put up a fight with this or not. Let's see where George is right now. Getting very close to Wooly. He's trying to go past and go side by side with him right now. This is a very dangerous section of the track to actually do this. And let's see if he's going to actually get it done before they get into that corner, which was good on his end. Does get the overtake done pretty cleanly. And let's get back out front now, following with Hussam as he's getting very close to Vangelis' car. Let's see if he's able to get this done in the next few laps or not. And I think he's on a pretty fast lap here, so he might be getting this done before the end of lap 22. So we're going to have a look at that right now. He's trying to get a better exit as well. Has a lot of overtake to use and doesn't waste time getting that overtake button on. And this is the fastest lap as well. Vangelis is going to be under a lot of pressure for the next 5 laps here to keep the lead of the race. If he's able to do this, it's going to be quite an interesting turn. Oh, and we got Wooly and Crooksy getting it now in the back there. Dodgy getting in the mix of it. Crooksy falling down the order just a bit there now. As we're still following with Hussam as he's trying to keep up with Vangelis' car. He is very close behind. To get a gap to go on here is going to be a whole different story. So we're going to follow with these two. Hopefully they don't take each other out in this race, because this, I think, is going to be quite an interesting battle going all the way to the end of the race here. I think Crooksy and Max Baron are switching positions down at the back here. I just don't want to switch off here for just a moment. I will have a look at what's going on later down at the back. Let's see how close Hussam is going to keep up with Vangelis going through. I honestly expected this would have probably been done with before the end of this lap, but Vangelis is driving pretty impressively well to try and keep the lead here right now. He's going to have to do that job every lap for the next at least 4.5 laps here at least, because DRS is now back on. So he's definitely going to be under a lot more pressure now as Hussam is keeping in that DRS range, and definitely is going to get DRS from him. And along with all of that ERS he has saved up, he's going to be getting a good go at Vangelis' car. He's going to have to be super careful. Gilligan getting the fastest lap so far, a 128.7, not bad on his end at all. Oh, and Frank with a 3-second penalty. A lot of penalties handed out so far. Wooly there in the midst of it didn't get a penalty, so maybe that's going to put him up a few positions. If he can keep close to everyone else, he's 3.1 seconds behind George. He's going to have to try and improve that time and get a bit closer, just to get avoid those penalties there, which I think he is actually doing. Alright, so let's see. Hussam is using overtake as much as he can right now. I think this battle might be going on all the way down to the end of the race, and we're really not sure how this is going to end as yet. And there we have it, a penalty for Hussam. That definitely changes things now. So even if he does get ahead, he's going to have to get 3 seconds ahead of Vangelis to even keep the win of the race here right now. as he's trying to get a gap to go side by side with Badgers, but not getting that done. He's under a lot of pressure to try and get back his race lead, and he's not able to get it back at the moment. They're on lap 24 going right now. And that penalty definitely has hurt his race here. He's trying to go side by side with Vangelis, but just Vangelis maybe just trying to outbreak him, just trying to keep the lead right now. He's going to have to just hope he can put Vangelis' car under a lot of pressure that he does get a penalty as well and even things out here. That's probably going to be his only chance of getting a race win. If he can get past, he's going to have to make Vangelis get a penalty somehow or the other. So I'm not sure how easy that's going to be for him to do, as he's definitely going to be using overtake as he gets around here. Well, he might be trying to save it up. I'm not even sure. Let's see. He is using it. Definitely some minor contact between the two of them. They are not sure if anyone took any damage. Doesn't seem to be so. Sam takes away the lead of the race from Vangelis, gets back into P1. He has just about 2 laps remaining now to get a gap of 3 seconds and over off of Vangelis' car to keep the lead and get a race win here. Let's see if he can actually accomplish this here right now or not. I think our other closest gap we have is Wooly getting past Maz Baron there now, down in 10th and 11th. He already has a gap of half a second going. Let's see if he can improve that. He's going to have to get at least a second and a half to 2 seconds by the end of lap. By the end we get to lap 26, and just 1 lap remaining. Let's see if he can get this done. It is possible. Of course, he's going to have to just try and get out of Vangelis' sight. 3 seconds is actually, I don't think that's going to be quite easy for him to do unless Vangelis makes some sort of mistake here. And I think worst thing to happen to him right now is we have a safety car from the session, and we just have Deutsche retired from the session. Not sure where that happened, and it seemed to have happened down in sector 1 there. His car is stuck at the side of the track. Hopefully that doesn't trigger a safety car or a VSC, because that's not going to end too well for Sam there out in front. Alright, so gap is already up over a second and going. Still on lap 26, about to go into lap 20. Well, we're going into lap 26 here right now. Oh, and we get Maz Brown getting into the pits there right now. Let's get back out front and see what's happening. We got Nice and Spicer getting very close to Darson's Red Bull right now. So it's both Renault coming at the Red Bull. Sorry, yeah, both Renault coming at the Red Bull driver. Darson under a lot of pressure at the moment. And Johnny Stokes and Nice and Spicer are trying to fight it out once again. Vangelis still hasn't gotten a penalty. Still trying to keep his car as close as he can to Huge Sam to try and keep the win of this race. As he does know about our penalty and he knows he's going to be winning if he finishes close enough to Huge Sam's car. Oh, and Cruxy retires from the race as well as Frank there. Not sure what happened to those two. Not seeing any cars on tracks. Someone's car was on track somewhere. I'm not even sure where that was. Still has not triggered any sort of safety car or anything. Quite a few drivers out of the race on the finishing lap here. As Renault drivers are now switching positions again. Some minor contact between the two of them. Johnny Stokes takes it for P5 in a moment and continues on. I think we got just over 13 drivers remaining in this session right now out of 18, so that's 5 drivers out. Dilgav gets the fastest lap so far, 128.3, and he is running, where he is, he's in 10th right now. And Hugh Sam is not able to increase his lead to over a second once again. So we're on the final lap of the race right now, as there's a pink Mercedes. Yes, I think he spun around somewhere. He's getting back on track there right now. That's our 21st car. And we're on the final of lap 27 of this race, getting down to the end. Let's see if Vangelis can actually get past Hugh Sam before we get to the end here. He's not close enough to actually get this done, but if Hugh Sam does make a mistake, it will leave room open for him to get that done. Daily Gap getting very close to Rob Sims' car there. I'll follow on with Hugh Sam as he finishes this race here. So he's going to be finishing the race in P1. Of course, he's going to have to take P2 with Vangelis taking P1 because of that penalty there. And there he goes across the line, P1. Vangelis takes it for P2, and Raceway is coming across. He's going to be taking P3. Not sure how many penalties these guys have, but we'll have a look at it in a second. And he did have a 5-second unserved penalty. So Johnny Stokes moves up into P3, taking it on the podium. And his teammate Nice Inspires in P4. Raceway goes down to P5. Darson is 6. George goes 7. Wooly goes into 8. And his teammate Dilligaff into 9th. We got Rob into 10. James Al in 11th. And we got Mass Baron coming behind him for P12. And Al Judford will be finishing in 13th. And that's going to be how it ends. Frank, Crooksy, Doherty, Patella, and Envoy Extreme not finishing their race there. And there we go, we got Mass Baron getting across the line. So that's going to be it for the 27 laps here. And that's what I've been waiting for. Driver of the day goes to George. Not a bad drive from him today. Alright, so let's see our final results table and how many penalties actually were given out here. Alright, so there we have it. Vangelis takes the win of the race. Hugh Sam goes in second because of his penalties. And we got Johnny Stokes in P3. Nice Inspector takes it for P4. Raceway takes P5. Darson 6. George 7. Wooly takes 8. Dilligaff 9. Rob in 10. James Allen 11. Mass Baron 12. Aljid for 13. Frank in 14. Crooksy goes 15. Doherty 16. Patella 17. And Envoy Extreme 18. That is it for the Japanese Grand Prix for round 18 with VFL F1 Esports League. We should be joining them again next week for round 19. Should be quite an interesting race. Of course, we have 2 more esports races coming up tomorrow, Saturday evening. So let's look forward to that. And thank you for joining us for this session. And that is all for today.